Yours is just the latest in a wave of LiDAR SPAC. So how do you differentiate yourself from, I count at least 6 since last summer?
Sure. First, Deirdre, thanks for having me on board. Aeva is a perception systems company. We're designing and developing what we believe to be the next wave of perception technology for different kinds of devices, across devices. Automotive is first market segment, and then going to consumer and others. But what we really differentiate is our development of what we call a 4D, a four-dimensional LiDAR technology. That's a fourth dimension being our ability to measure velocity instantaneously for every single pixel. And that is something that's quite unique to us, that has been really unprecedented, that nobody else that's in the market that's doing what typically see 3D LiDARs is able to do. Our ability to then on top of that see longer ranges at high resolution, be immune from interference, and most importantly then being able to integrate all of that onto a tiny silicon photonics chip platform where we can put all the big spinny stuff into a smaller chip technology, allows us to scale this up at lower costs and have those unique applications that are, for example, including beyond automotive, like consumer electronics, consumer health, and other applications. So these are some of the areas that we fundamentally differentiate from anybody else that's actually working on this technology in the perception space.
Okay, Soroush, but even a few years ago, we saw more than 70 startups in this space, and a lot of folks thought that consolidation was inevitable. I know that you're not focusing only on AVs, autonomous vehicles, but some other industries. Do you think that eventually consolidation will happen?
Yeah, look, I think consolidation in any industry that is in the pace of rapid growth is something that is bound to happen over time. At the same time, I think the market is large enough to support a handful of players that are providing their own kind of differentiation and capturing different segments of the market in general. But you're absolutely right. That I think is going to happen over time. And for us, of course, the way we see it and where we see our customers' engagements is that next generation of technology. What we care about is the arc of technology going from three-dimensional LiDAR into four-dimensional LiDAR, so that if you look back maybe 10 years from now and you see what is actually the more mainstream perception input devices, not just on an AV but consumer other applications, is that kind of a 4D technology that's based in FMCW, or frequency modulated continuous wave is a technical term. So that's what we believe, and we're here to actually show and make that happen.
Soroush, it's John Fort. Great to have you. So it doesn't escape me that Apple's got LiDAR in iPhones now, and you talked about starting with cars, but moving beyond that. What's the likelihood that a technology like yours, particularly because you've got silicon involved, is going to be more valuable outside the car over time, with the car being mainly sort of a proving ground for the technology? Because cars are kind of a big market, but they're not. They don't get sold as often and in as high volume as some other things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, John. And our vision from day one has been not to go make a gadget that's going to be in a few vehicle models and makes here, but really to go and create this technology in a way that can be applied across devices. And this is something that, if we are successful, you're going to start seeing Aeva in devices in many different kinds of applications, consumer electronics being one. And you may ask, why would that matter? Why would Aeva fit into that? The reason is because we actually are, going beyond what's possible today. The LiDAR technologies that are on the phones and tablets today are barely scratching the surface. They're great technologies, but it's those first generation. They can see maybe a handful of meters. They work primarily indoor well. But those same advantages that we can gain in our applications for AV space or ADAS, on the same chip level technology, we descale that down, same architecture, but can expand the range. So we can take that now, enable world-facing LiDAR applications on phones, tablets to go outside.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.